those of you who got an invite, welcome to Nerd Prom.
No matter where in the world you are, we're all Nerds International. With the hyphen.
Alright, YouTube, it's Mr. Mean again. Video number 2 today. 2 in a row. How good does it get? It is gorgeous out here in sunny Beaumont. It was like 78, 81 degrees today. Sun was out, nice cool breeze. We had a mild cold front come in over the weekend, so it cooled us off. Normally it would be a little bit warmer here. High 80s, low 90s possibly, and just swampy, but it was actually nice and cool, nice breeze. So anyway, that's the weather report for Beaumont, Texas. What do we have today? Well, the fine folks over at Ulysses Spiel, North America, have been up to it again. The Aventuria Almanac. What can I say, buddy? Hardback. We'll get to the goodies in a minute. We've got 263 pages with an ad in the back for a card game, which I didn't see that before, so I'm definitely going to check that out. As always, they've put the ribbons in the book. They give you 2 of them, a red one and a gold one, or a yellow. I like to think it's gold because it's special. What can I say? I mean, this is an almanac of the land. Everybody knows what an almanac is. You've seen them before. I'm not going to beat it with a dead bush. I'm not going to insult anybody's intelligence. You know what's in here. It's a breakdown of all the areas of the land for the Midlanders and surrounding areas. They go into some of the Dizians, the folks, the creatures and the fauna, which is awesome. The art is fantastic as always. They went again with that matte finish and then a glossy for certain images, which I think is super cool. Of course, they got the Dark Eye logo up here at the top, and on the back it looks like all their other books. Even tells you they do the recommendation, which is really cool. Tells you that it's for 1 GM and 3 to 6 players, ages 14 and older. It's really nice. The art is consistent throughout the book, which you guys know is a huge pet peeve of mine. Some NPCs, people to deal with and throw at your players that you might meet. I mean, just all kinds of stuff. And they give these guys a full write-up. In the back, it talks about some other stuff like the Dark Eyes and what they are and kind of a little bit more about them. So it's really cool. They tell you about trolls and orcs and all the funny stuff. Cave spiders, crypt louse, which you don't want to run into those. The Krakenute, a Tatzelworm, which is not nice. Treants, black bears, grimwolves, wild boars, wolf rats, and then a bunch of the different herbalisms, because obviously there's witches in this game, and well, we all know witches and warlocks use herbs and petty magic and all that fun stuff. They go through the gods, which really great, because while they had some information in the core rule book, of course they had so much to cover in that book that it was very glossed over. So they go into a little bit more detail here. It doesn't look like it's anything that's repeated. I will admit I haven't read it all the way through. I'm still reading through it. I'm hoping to get a Saturday game going of this at Bookstand, because I think it's a really cool system. I think people should be playing it. So I'd like to run it again. I did run a demo about a month back. Only 2 people showed. It was a father and son team, and oddly enough, they're in my gaming group. John is my GM for Deadlands Reloaded. So, and his son Danny plays. He's like 16, 17 years old. Great people, love them to death. So, and they played it and they thought it was okay. So that was really cool. They humored me, and so definitely would like to be able to use this and bring it to the table. I think it would be really cool. Let's see. I went over the layout. Oh, let's talk about this. I didn't even realize these were in the book. I was checking the book out so I could get ready for my review today. And by the way, this released this year. I believe they did a Kickstarter for it, if I remember correctly. I wasn't able to get in on it because I found out about it too late. But it did a very successful Kickstarter, and it looks like what Ulysses Spiel of North America is doing is and if any of those guys are watching or listening, correct me if I'm wrong, but it looks like what they're doing is they're converting everything to English, playtesting it, getting it all squared away, and then releasing a Kickstarter to actually fund it, which I think is really smart and very cool, because also you get those people that back the Kickstarter that can download the early PDFs and play test it and find even more errors if there possibly is any, and then maybe grammar, because the German language, the human language, the English language are very grammatically different. So very cool that it appears that they're doing it that way, and I think they are. Again, if any of those guys are listening or watching, please feel free to correct me and post it in the notes below. But what I thought was a nice little added bang for the buck. By the way, I picked this up at my local game store for $39.99. That's their listed price, which $40 for that many pages, hardback, full color, with the sewn and glued binding and stitched, and the 2 bookmarks, I think is actually a pretty decent deal for $40. WotC charges $40 for a book half this size, so I think it's a good price point. I think it's good bang for your buck. Do you need it as a player? No. Is it nice to have as a player? Oh God, yes. If you're going to make your character and you want to know more about the area you come from than what's just in the core rule book, this book is worth every penny of it. If you're a GM, then I think it's a have to buy. If you're running the Dark Eye and you're new to the world, or you just never really paid much attention to it, a lot of GMs like to just run their own thing, and the world setting and the background material is just that. This is really will allow you to flesh it out and things like that. So definitely a must buy for a GM. I wholeheartedly recommend you pick up a hard copy. If the hard copy's out of your price range, I'm almost positive they have it as a PDF on Drive-Thru RPG. Get it. It's worth it. It's gorgeous done. Like I said, there's some more monsters in here and critters, and there's fauna. There's plants and everything for your herbalist and all those characters that like to make things. So very cool. So pick it up. But anyway, when I bought the book, I just found these. I didn't even realize they were in the book, because I've been reading the book kind of front to cover, or cover to cover, which I know that's weird for a almanac, but hey, I like what I like. They've got some cool maps in here, so it's going to be hard to show these up. So as my formal disclaimer is, buy the book and you can see them for yourself in really good detail. It'll be high definition, I guarantee it. But that's one little map for their area, and then they have a bigger map, which is, I can't even get it all on the screen, I don't think. So that's nice. That's gorgeous. It would help if I put it right side up. So that's the map, and there's a little bit of glare. I apologize for that. But that is neat. I mean, they got the Cyclops Islands. They give you a little legend down here. The Southern Sea, Ifern Sea, Ocean. I mean, and they list all the things. It could be a little bit clearer. That could be my eyes. I have terrible eyes, and I know it. So, but the maps are cool nonetheless. They're in the back of the book. I can't say enough about it. There's the back. And again, they go with that matte finish and that glossy. So really, really, really well done. Gives you a little blurb on the back. I'm not going to read it to bore you to death. You guys will buy the book and you'll be able to read it yourself. Again, in high definition once it'll be 3D. So again, that's just a quick review. I don't want to go what's in the book. I mean, everybody's pretty familiar. If you're a gamer, you know what almanacs are. If you're a history buff, if you're a geology or geography buff, you know what almanacs are, and pretty much most gamers have a little bit of that in them. If you're new to the hobby, you'll soon find your joy and your love of almanacs. Believe it or not, I even have a fisherman's almanac, a real world book for the South here, for Louisiana and stuff, that tells me when high tide and low tide is, because I can port that into a fantasy game and make it up. Because players will ask the weirdest things. When's the next full moon? And you could pull it out your butt, but it's nice to kind of have some sort of real world basis, and you can just say, oh, well, it's 3 weeks from now, blah, 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 and you can go from there. So it's definitely a cool thing. But that is the Aventuria Almanac, and I think it's well worth picking up. Like I said, if you're a player and you want some more information about where your character comes from, it's awesome. Or maybe you're a player and you're getting ready to go to the Dwarf Lands, to the Dwarf Mountains, and you want to know more about those dwarves. Now you could read up with it. Obviously get your GM's permission, of course. He may have certain information in the almanac that he doesn't want you to know. So, always check with your GM. Give them the respect that they deserve because they're working hard to bring you a good game. So, as I said in my other video for the RPG Crate, if you didn't see that, please go back and watch it and give me a thumbs up and a like. But June 17th, I will be at Etten Games in Humboldt, Texas, running Conan, An Age Undreamed Of. It's a 2D20 system by Modifius. It's the same mechanics or game system that the Infinity RPG is going to use, which is, if you don't know what Infinity is, it's based off of a miniatures game by the same name that's very sci-fi, high-tech, and I'm very much looking forward to it. I backed the Kickstarter, and I can't wait for my product to come in, probably by the end of summer, maybe a little sooner, but I doubt it, probably end of summer. But anyway, it uses the 2D20 system that they're also using in Conan, and they use it in Mutant Chronicles, which those of you that have watched my channel in the past know that I'm a huge fan of Mutant Chronicles, and I'm actually running a small campaign right now. We play on the odd weeks when we don't play Star Wars, and everyone so far is really enjoying it, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. So if you haven't checked out any of Modifius's games, do yourself a favor, check them out. They're really good. The 2D20 system is actually a really good system. It's very cinematic, and it runs pretty darn smooth. I'm very happy with it, and I think the Conan game is going to be phenomenal. So again, that'll be June 17th, free RPG day in Humboldt, Texas, USA. So if you're in the area, stop on in, say hi. They normally do door prizes. They do a raffle, I think. It's very cool. They're in a little strip mall, so there's food around. They're really easy to get to. They're right off of FM 1569, I believe. But Google Maps, don't trust my sense of direction. It's horrible. Put me in the woods, I can't get lost. Put me in a city, I'm a goner. I'm dead. I'll starve to death. Anyway, so that's me rambling on for a good 11, almost 12 minutes now. Buy the almanac. It's totally worth it. If you can get it in PDF, get it. It'd be nice to have it on a decent tablet or your laptop and have it there where you can reference it as a GM. If a player wants to know, is a herb available? You can go in there and you can look and go, why? Yes, it is, or no, it's not. And maybe give them an alternative. So it's got a really good section on herbs and fauna and flora, which is pretty cool that they went into that depth. I mean, the game is, it's a top-notch game. Go out and buy it. Take my advice. Buy it. I think you'll like it. Anyway, this is Mr. Mean signing off. As always, peace and hair grease. And remember,